Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be getting into making our very own Neovim Color Scheme Plugin. Something we can spam to the Neovim subreddit and post on our GitHubs. Okay, and to get started, we're going to be creating a directory for our plugin and we're going to be giving it the following structure. We're going to be creating a directory called colors. Inside the colors directory, we're going to be adding mycolorscheme.lua or whatever you want to call your color scheme. We're going to be adding the Lua directory. Inside the Lua directory, we're going to be adding another directory with the name of our plugin. So I name mine My Color Scheme directory. And inside that directory, we're going to be adding the init.lua file. If you're not familiar with the plugin setups, you can check out our other video on a guided walkthrough on how to do a Neovim plugin. Everything inside the init.lua file is going to be the core logic for defining the color schemes. And everything inside of the color directory, the mycolorscheme.lua, this is going to be the entry point for Neovim to load the color scheme. And you're going to see sort of how that works as we go. We're going to head over to our init.lua file for the initial file setup. We're just going to declare a local m right at the top here, a local m table. We're going to declare a setup function with an m.setup function. And then at the end, we're going to be returning m. And then head over into your file in the colors directory. So for me, it's going to be mycolorscheme.lua. And here we're going to be adding one line. We're going to be adding require, the name of our plugin, and we're going to call that setup method that we just set up inside the init.lua. And once that's complete, we're gonna be able to set up a little bit of our initial code here. Inside our setup function, we're gonna create a Lua table to store our initial color palette. So we'll just define a few colors here. We'll start with the background color. This is gonna be obviously the background of Neovim. The foreground color, you could think of this as like the color of just plain text without, no syntax highlighting or something like that. Just plain text. And we're just going to go ahead and then just define a few other colors that we're going to be using throughout our color scheme plugin. Next, we're going to be defining another Lua table, and this is going to be responsible for declaring our highlight groups. The way that Neovim works for changing the colors is you end up setting what's called highlight groups. And highlight groups are used to define colors for syntax elements, UI components. Some of the common groups are normal, keyword, string, comment, status line. For the start of this example though, we're just going to be defining what's going to be the colors for the normal highlight group. So the key of this table is going to be the name of the highlight group, normal. And then in the settings, we're going to be setting the FG parameter, and then we're going to be setting the BG parameter. And these are going to be the options for the highlight group itself. And to actually apply the highlights, we're going to be doing a loop through our table that we've defined for the highlights, and we're going to be calling nvim sethl. This method is going to be used to set our highlight groups. We're just going to be passing this 0 for the first parameter. We'll be passing it the group string from the table, and then the options that go with the matching key. Let's head over to our Neovim configuration. We can add this line to our plugin manager. I'm using the lazy plugin manager. This might be different for you, but I can just point this exactly to the directory where my color scheme plugin is located. So we only set the highlight group for the normal highlight. So we only change the color scheme for the normal highlight group, but I can already start my Neovim. We should be able to initiate the color scheme just like any other color scheme. We can go to the color scheme variable, and my color scheme should start to show up now in the command. And if I execute it, you'll see the background changes, the color changes. Let me just change the color again real quick back to Kanagawa. And then I'll change it. I'll choose the telescope to pick my color scheme. So I can change it with that. And you can see color scheme changes once again, and we can load it just like the other plugins. Let's expand some of our defined highlight groups here, just so we can show some more examples. So another important group that you might want to do is tree sitter highlights. Very famous for syntax highlighting. So if you want to support tree sitter color schemes, you can use sort of tree sitter defines its groups with the @ symbols in front. And you can use sort of this bracket notation to do the definitions. And then you can do other plugin specific highlight groups. For example, this is the telescope border highlight group, and we can just sort of set it up kind of like that. And some other sort of common highlight groups, highlight group for comments. Notice you can actually set options for italic. You can set options for bold. The main options are going to be the foreground and the background. And some more important highlight groups: keyword, string, number, line number, cursor line, status line, the visual look. All of these super important. And if I head over into my example now, let's go into a file, let's go into a Rust file, just so we can see the difference sort of in how the syntax changes. And then I can launch with telescope. Oops, I'll go to my color scheme, and there we go. It changes the color scheme, sort of how we have it defined. And you'll notice, sort of like we have here with the telescope border set to red, you'll notice my telescope border is now red, and the other tree sitter variable highlight groups have been hit as well. If you want to reuse an existing highlight group, you can sort of do it like this. You can use the link. You can use the link property, and you can link it to another highlight group. I'm going to link the identifier to the visual group. I don't know how that's going to look. That'll probably look really weird. So let's just load this up. We'll go into our main file. I'll change this to my color scheme. And it it makes these sort of weird highlight here. Not too bad on this document, but all right, that's how it goes. Reusing identifier. Reusing existing groups to reduce redundancy. When choosing colors for any design, you can use the color harmony theory to sort of guide you in picking your different colors. You can start with a color wheel, and you can select a scheme like the complementary color scheme. Complementary colors, these colors are considered opposite from each other. They're very bold and contrasty, great for highlighting. You can switch to analogous colors. Analogous colors, when they sit next to each other, they're more of a cohesive, smooth feeling. The colors that sort of work together and sort of the opposite of the highlight and contrast. Sort of the opposite of the complementary. That's the analogous color scheme. You can also consider the mood of the colors: warm for reds, yellow for energizing, cool blues and greens for calming, and different stuff like that. All right, you're ready to go out and make your own color scheme plugins. I hope to see many new color schemes flooding the Neovim subreddit. If you did appreciate the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the video. Thank you very much.